Hi there, it's time to take two with Therese at Altenew, and I have a stamp focus today using the Sentiment Strips 2 stamp set. I wanted to share two different ways to use this stamp set and some similar products. So I've got this, it's one of the new paper packs called A Love for Stripes, and this is the set A. What pretty colours. There's a wide and a narrow stripe. I'm going to be using this on both my cards. I'm going to start by doing a technique which always looks good on any card. You can use this with any sort of sentiment that you like, but I decided to start with a baby card because there's this sentiment in there called Sweet, which says Sweet Baby, and I just stamped it out a few times because I want to do this repeated sentiment technique. So this is something that has a real impact on a card. You can either do it in coloured stamping, you can emboss it on coloured cardstock, or you can use different sentiments to make up a bigger sentiment and sort of join them all together, and that looks amazing too. So I decided to repeat the same sentiment and do a monochromatic card using some of the pink colours for a little girl card, and I basically stamped the same sentiment 3 times, cut it all down. I did make sure that the sentiments were the same width. I wasn't quite as worried about having them perfectly aligned, but they were all going to be the same width because I want mine to be lined up on the front of the card. You can do it skew, and that looks really fun too. And it's a really simple card, this one, and would be a really good concept or a technique to do for a masculine card because it has that impact. You can add some nice bright colours. You could do 3 different colours with the sentiments and say whatever you want, just happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, and then just you could either add an element, an image, or not. It doesn't really matter. I think it just looks great with the sentiments on there. I did add a little squirrel though, and it's from the Spring Fling stamp set, and I still stamped that in pink. Decided to add a little bit of a twine bow to the top because I like twine on baby cards. And I was kind of thinking if you wanted to add something to make it a more masculine design, some enamel dots or some Nouveau dots would have a really nice effect, or even some sequins if you wanted to jazz it up for a female card. My second card, I decided to use the same products but in quite a different way. So for this card, I've got the Spring Fling stamp set again and the coordinating die, and I'm stamping out, I want to make a little bouquet. So I've got my pinks and some greens here, and I'm basically just stamping out a stack of flowers and leaves because I don't know how many I'm going to use. It's easier to stamp them all out at once and die cut them all out at once because I can always use them on another project. Especially these flowers, they're quite versatile. They have like a really simple layer, like you can stamp a center in them, or you can restamp the flower itself within the flower, but I did keep them very simple today. I love these pretty colours. I'm really on the pink mode at the moment. I'm sorry about that. This time I decided to do a classic kind of sentiment where I heat embossed it with white on black. I wasn't going to. I was going to try and stay away from this today, but I couldn't. I wanted the black boldness for the sentiment, and this is a classic technique that always gives the wow factor to a card. And I thought it went really well with all these pretty spring colours. So I've got this panel of the Mega Hello die left over from another project. I kept it, it's the same size as my card front, and I wanted to have some green stripes in the negative space on an angle. So basically I just held the panel over top of the stripes, drew a pencil line around, and then just cut within that pencil line a little bit so that I could pop the panel up on top of this green cardstock with some foam squares. How tricky is that? So now I've got a negative space Mega Hello. I'm adding that to the front of a landscape side fold card and just using my adhesive to do that, and then I did want to put these little center pieces of the letters back in, so I had to pop those up as well, and some of those were a little bit little, but hopefully they'll hold. I used matte medium, and the fun foam that I'm using here today actually has an adhesive side, and it's really quite sticky, so I think that should be fine. To make my bouquet, I kept it all pretty low. I didn't add any fun foam or foam squares. I just used the glue tape adhesive for that, and because this is a dotted adhesive, I can move things around until I'm happy with the placement. And then with my sentiment, when it's over a negative space like this, I hold it where I want it to be. I flip it over, and then I can put my foam squares where I know they're going to hit the cardstock and help hold it in place. And by the way, I hate these foam squares. I've had them for so many years, I'm trying to use them up. I don't even know where I got them from, but they're black, and that works perfectly with my black sentiment. And I just added a few sparkly crystal things on there to make it even more pretty. Right, so thanks for joining me today. I have everything listed at the blog, and the link will be in the description below. If you did like this video, it'd be awesome if you could click on that thumbs up button to let us know that you did. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel here. There's always lots of inspiration. Till next time. Bye.